Know what to expect in the world over the next 1 to 3 days energetically. I can help you with that. Guble one, everyone. I'm Aurea Eden. Guble one is my way to greet. It means good, blessed, and wonderful. So today's energy is centered around service, completion, as well as humanitarianism and endings. Okay, endings also come with loss, and loss comes with fear and uncertainty. When there's an end, there is a beginning. Okay, so highlighted in this energy is going to be the elderly, those who are poorly in health. Okay, and with that is energetically is coming up medicine, medication. These are some of the things that we're going to be seeing highlighted in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Names coming up: Maddie, May, Amy, Pam, even Day. Okay, Maddie, May, Amy, Pam. These names are on a hot list, so they might take precedence in the news over the next 1 to 3 days, or we may see them in the news in some kind of way. All right. I'm also picking up on certain things related to people feeling guilty. All right. Sometimes when you don't show up for the elderly or your loved ones when they're going through a difficult situation, when they're gone, sometimes we feel guilty for not being there when we could have been there. I say that because there was a situation that I too was in. And when my Aunt Tina passed, like, she would call me, and I remember I had some eggs and I was like, I need to go take these eggs over there. And instead of stopping by that day, when I had the eggs in the car, I said I was going to take them to her. But instead of stopping by that day, I ended up going home instead. And then shortly after, I got a call that she passed away. So on my mind, I was like, I should have just took the eggs over. I should have just stopped by. But I was trying to be home before dark, you see. But that guilt weighed on me. So at the funeral, it really weighed on me because of the guilt that I could have just spent some last moments with her, you know. So these are type of things that will come up here that people will be feeling. And when people are feeling that, you got to be considerate, understanding that there's so much going on in the world. You know how many people lost their lives on Mother's Day? Like, seriously, there was a lot of people transitioned out, a lot of car wrecks and crashes. Did y'all see that video? I want to say it was at a dollar store. I believe it was at, it wasn't the dollar, a Green Tree. I think it was Green Tree. I think that's what they call it. But anyways, it's a Dollar Tree. It was at a Dollar Tree. Did y'all see that? Somebody fighting outside in the parking lot. They done ran over this girl with the car and everything. But look at God. Look at God. I saw her get up and walk away like it didn't hurt her at all. But I'm telling you, I mean, this world is something else right now. This world is something else because people are not able to handle their rage. Rage. Now, I done seen rage before. I either see red or black. If I see black, uh-oh. If I see red, uh-oh. So I know what rage looks and feels like, right? Because I've been there. But I spent a lot of time with myself to be able to control my rage, you see? Because a lot can happen from rage. A lot can be destroyed from rage. And that's what happened to that, what was that Dollar Tree that they was outside fighting in the parking lot. They ended up costing this Dollar Tree owner some money in a way because they damaged its property. So now they got to hold the whole situation going on to where they have to face consequences for what they did. And there will be consequences, or there were consequences, especially today So whatever you do today, there's going to be consequences for those actions. And I feel like it's going to be immediate consequences. And the reason why I say that is because it's in the energy. And when I see it in the energy, it typically only takes 1 to 3 days for it to take place. Now, I tell you 1 to 3 days because that's what I notice of how long it typically takes. Now, it can take longer when it's a bigger situation. It can take longer, but what'll happen when it takes longer is that it'll keep telling me the same, like give me the same nuggets of energy to let me know that it is energy building up. Like I'm getting the energy of, what is it called? An EMP? Like, I guess it's an electromagnetic pulse or something like that. I'm getting something about electricity coming in today. So we'll see something about electricity or currents or something having a lot to do with that. EMP or EMF, okay? EM something, okay? EM, emergency, is what could happen today as well because of this transitional energy. We're in the last of a cycle. And we're at the last day of the cycle. So today's the last day of cycle. Tomorrow's the new beginning, okay, in the cycle. So a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear today. And when people are fearful, they tend to like lash out. That's why it's so beneficial for leaders to take leadership today, to be leaders today. And it's so important to focus on the arts and craft and be productive today, because this energy will have a tendency to try to drag you down into a ditch of self-pity and bitterness and nastiness and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Need I say more? You see, that's what this energy today has a tendency to do, because they can't sometimes say what they want to say to them. They'll go into a store and they'll say it to you as you're checking out, or you'll have a cash register. You have somebody checking you out and they got a bad attitude. You see, and you're wondering why they got a bad attitude, because they had somebody to fight, or it's the other way around. Somebody's mean and nasty to you while they're checking out. So this energy today is not you. It's the frustration in the world here. And so we should teach each other how to be better. Teach each other how to dream for more. We should teach each other how to embrace the good in things here. But I am seeing things being amplified and amped up today. I'm getting a lot of famous energy here coming into a lot about political leaders, celebrities, as well as the celebrities' maids and the celebrities' assistants. I'm also picking up on sexual harassment type energy. I really don't know what they're going to bring forth, but I do know that a celebrity's assistant is going to come up in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Someone in that service industry, they're going to come up here. But a lot of famous energy. Some are going to be honored. Some are going to be highlighted because they are starting something new. And some are going to be highlighted because they are doing something scandalous. And I told you, what's hidden, it eventually comes up to the surface. It comes to the light. What's hidden is eventually found. What you do in the dark, it will eventually come to the light. Believe and trust that to be the case. So I'm also seeing something about repairing. This could be like animals, injured animals here. But I'm seeing something in flight. Something that normally takes flight that needs to be repaired. And this could actually be airplanes needing to be repaired. It could be hawks. It could be injured birds or something along those lines. But something in flight is going to need to be, or not in flight, it might be on the ground, but something is going to need to be repaired. Okay, I'm seeing here aim. Okay, remember I told you the other day about there would be an issue about where these weapons are aimed. And I said, oh, US don't have worry about that right now until they got to worry about it. But I'm seeing an issue coming in about weapons being aimed. Okay. And then it becomes a problem. All right. And speaking of a problem, I'm telling you today, look, I'm getting DEA, FBI, you name it. Okay, you name it. It's something. Somebody's under investigation here. And I'm not seeing the raids, but I'm seeing that there's something big going on. There's something big. DEA, FBI. We're gonna hear this something about the DEA, the FBI, or one of those federal organizations, because I'm picking up on the feds here. So the feds got their eye out on somebody or something, and yeah, it's gonna be a big issue here. Is what I'm seeing. It's gonna take precedence in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Okay, but I am picking up on that. So I'm telling you, they're gonna catch somebody. They're gonna catch somebody soon, possibly over the next 1 to 3 days. Because I told whoever that was that's running, they're gonna find you. Oh, they're gonna find you. And because of what you did, I can't wait till they do. All right. So anywho, meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm seeing here, that pneumonia. Okay. I talked about health, right? So, and I'm not a medical doctor. This information that I share with you is for entertainment purposes only. But if you know like I know, then you know. But pneumonia, okay, I'm picking up something about pneumonia. We'll hear something in the news about over the next 1 to 3 days. Remember yesterday I said something about somebody that basically they were susceptible to cold. Well, what happens when you're susceptible to cold is sometimes it can lead to pneumonia. So that's what I've heard. I don't know. But this is why today I'm picking up on pneumonia. So we'll hear something about pneumonia, as well as blood vessels affected by this energy, and as well as the lymphatic system here that's affected by this energy. The media, you remember yesterday I said the news is going to be newsing. I'm still picking up on something about mass communication, broadcasting, publishing. This energy is creative. So this artists are going to take precedence in the sense that there's writing, poetry, like different kinds of forms of artistry, painting. We should see more about that coming up. So a lot of these celebrities that I'm picking up on, maybe they're just going to be performing. Okay. I get a little slight energy about Mother Sister, but not much. And Mother Sister is Beyonce, by the way. And I call her Mother Sister because she is Mother Sister. Okay. But I'm picking up on this energy here a bit, just slight, not much. So I don't see much going on there, but there will be a little bit of talk, and people always got their mouth on a lot of people. You know, now it's an issue. They talking about TPH, okay, TPH. Now they talking about TPH because TPH wore white to the Met Gala. Who gives a flip? Who gives a flip? And what she said, I told you, who you think are against you are actually going to be for you when it's all said and done. You are hating yourself. You are hating your ancestors. And for what? And for what? God has people in many different places. He has people in many different places. He has people in the Muslim community, the Native community. He has people in the witch community. He has people in the prophetic community. He has preachers and teachers. He has people working in every office. He has people that look like your enemy, but when the time comes, they are going to turn into your friends. You got to understand that there's more going on than you know. Just like man has their strategy, God has his, and he knows what you do not yet know or what you do not yet understand. And so I'm telling you that some of the people that you think are your enemies, even myself, you will not get there without. Do you hear what I'm saying? The place that many of you want to go, you will not get there without, because you will be missing your originals. The original divine, those who were able to keep their powers from the beginning. Yes, their powers were manipulated by man, but they are not your enemy. They are not your enemy. They might look like your enemy right now, but time will tell. Listen, if you're following me, I'm telling you that it will behoove you to focus on you and your awakening and your beneficial becoming, because the very thing that you might end up doing is putting your mouth on someone that God has his hands on. And I heard my brother say that if you try to correct them, you become their enemy. And when you become their enemy, it's an situation. Do you hear what I'm saying? When you become their enemy, it is an situation. So it's not up to you to correct them. It is up to God to correct them, because they are your original divine. Original divine. They were not handed a book like you were handed a book. There are some people that make rules, and there are some people that follow rules. We are those that make them. We are not those that followed them. Do you hear what I'm saying? So which one are you? And if you're not the ones that make them, then how can you understand what God is doing in this season? I understand everybody think God talked to them, and he does in some form or some way. But the chosen, he don't just give a word here and there. He talks to them every day. So you might be messing up and putting your mouth on someone who God dwells in. And it might even be that vessel. It might even be that Holy Spirit. It might be the Holy Spirit that you are warned not to blaspheme against, because it will be a situation. I get emotional behind that. I get emotional behind the ignorance of this world. And notice that I'm not stuttering. So I'm calm on the inside, but I'm speaking what I want to speak on the outside. I'm not angry. I'm not mad. I'm telling you what I'm telling you because I love you and I want to see you make it. And I know that those who want to go where they think they want to go, which is to that mountaintop, they will not make it there without the original divine. Without the original divine, okay? So some of you are going against the original divine. And so here I am seeing talk coming up about the media and communication and broadcasting, that type of stuff. So these are certain things that I'm seeing. Artistry. Sometimes it's just people being themselves. They're being artists. That's what they are. And it's like you don't appreciate what they do right now, because sometimes that happens. You don't give people flowers sometimes when they're living because of your own jealousy. A lot of you are jealous, and you have to come to that realization that, yeah, maybe I'm feeling this kind of way because I want to be them. I'm feeling this kind of way because I want to be in their position. But you don't even realize, but trying to be in their position, you're neglecting your own, because you have an office just like they have an office. So be mindful of that. Find the middle ground. I'm picking up on something about the middle ground between the central. Okay, balance. You know, I am all about balance, balancing the black and the white to form the gray in between, which is my favorite color, the silver and the gray. The silver and the gray, to be that bridge in between. I call unto all the bridges in the world right now to be that bridge in between. And don't pick a side, even though they want you to pick a side. You're welcome here, all that good energy. You're welcome here, all that righteous energy. You're welcome here, all that are trying to better themselves, but you're not welcome in my house. Let me tell you why, because I saw sinners yesterday. And you ain't welcome in my house, okay? I ain't welcoming nobody in my house after seeing sinners, okay? I ain't welcome nobody in my house before, but yeah, I ain't invite nobody in. Do you hear what I'm saying? If you gonna get in, you gonna get in by what it is that you do, okay? What it is that you do, because you will not be invited in. I'm not going to invite you in. You better take what belongs to you, okay? Take what belongs to you. Seize that step to your awakening. Seize that step. Now, I will give you what you need, but I will let you decide what to do with it, which is what Father has told me to do. Give them what they need and let them decide what to do with it. And that's all the bridge is going to do. They provide you the meaning to the means to get across, but it's up to you to walk across that bridge. And we can tell you till we blue in the face, but we're not going to. I'm not going to keep telling you this over and over again, because if you're not going to listen to me, then I'm going to move on. And that's that. I am not one to waste my time. I start focusing on people who actually want to hear what I got to say. And that's that. And eventually I start focusing on my animals and the babies, because they're the ones that's going to get in first and foremost. So I'm telling you, it depends on where you want to go now. I digress. Let me get back to it. All right. So spiritual energy coming in today. As well. All right. The spiritual energy. Now, notice this is going to come up. Okay. People are going to be acting manic, impulsive. People are going to be out here scheming and scamming. But that's why I say focus on you. Focus on where you are and how far you've come. See, when you try to convince somebody to not like somebody else because you don't like them or you don't like what they do, how they do, that's not a them problem. That's a you problem. You're trying to control something. You remember when I was like, Father, I don't got to fight your battles. You already can fight your own battles. I ain't finna sit up here and try to tell y'all not to go up against my Father, because you go up against my Father, you end up learning not to go up against my Father. He's a loving spirit. He's a loving entity. But sometimes, have you ever met somebody that you could love them all you want to love them, and they still treat you mean and nasty? And when they get the consequences for the way that they treated you all these years long to this day, then they're like, oh, woe is me. No, what did I tell you? You start playing with matches and you light the fire, you light the flame, you get the smoke. And that's what's happening energetically in this world. You lit the flame. You have had warning after warning after warning. And now you're still playing with fire. And you're going to get the smoke. I digress. But anyways, so speaking of fire and smoke, I am actually getting fire in the energy today. Okay. So there could be news about some kind of fire that happens over the next 1 to 3 days or so. It is about to get hot, okay, as we start approaching the summer months here in Texas for sure, and in these more desert areas, but it's going to get hotter and there's going to be a need for irrigation. So make sure you're irrigating your plants, you're irrigating your water. Make sure you're irrigating. All right. There's also going to be a reduction in pay, and I'm seeing something about reducing. So I'm seeing people getting paid nonetheless, but I am seeing something coming up with payments. Okay. It's not, I don't feel like it's going to be, for some, it's not going to be as much as a lot of people think it's going to be, especially today, seeming that the day deals with loss. Okay. So somebody's checks might be a little bit odd looking, and they might be like, now this something ain't right. Okay. Something ain't right. And it could be because there's a crook somewhere. Okay. So, I'm seeing that. I'm also picking up something about the deaf and mute. Sound is going to be here, and it could be a celebrity that I'm seeing that's gradually losing, their hearing. Okay, that I'm seeing here. I'm also seeing, we're going to see over in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or 4, something about more smothering incidents, people being smothered to death. Okay. That type of energy. And this could have something to do with somebody smothering their elderly, smothering the elderly here, taking them out before it's time for them to go. Because I am picking up a lot on elders here, subjects around aging, medical, and injury. So I see somebody smothering their, I don't know what they are to them, but smother incidents. Okay. Smothering. Okay. I'm seeing declines. Okay. Here coming up over the next 1 to 3 days as well. Something failing here, and it's going down. This could actually be a decrease in the stock market. When you think about the rise and the fall, it could be stock markets going down, because yesterday I saw I saw that it was in the energy yesterday. Now I'm just guesstimating, but I see something going down here. I'm also seeing here about a deviation, something that's meant to aim at one place. It ends up missing that target and ends up hitting something else and hitting in another place. I'm picking up on barbers and haircuts. It might be a good time to like mow the grass, cut your hair, that type of thing. If that's something that you're looking to do, but I'm seeing this in the energy here. I'm seeing there's going to be a lot of emphasis on the real, okay, on the real, on the genuine, okay, on the authentic. That's why I say focus on your authentic self, okay, focus on you. The more energy you put towards them, the less energy you put towards you. It's okay if it's your purpose, but make sure you're operating inside of your purpose. But a lot of times we're not operating on the inside of our purpose. We're operating on the inside of bias. We're operating on the inside of prejudice. We're operating on the inside of being brainwashed. And when you're brainwashed, the thing about being brainwashed is that you follow orders, but you never ask questions. And that's the problem. Now, this is coming from somebody who was military, all right, who had to follow orders, all right. So I know what it's like to be brainwashed. This is someone who was beat down in the spirit when it comes down to outsiders, so to speak, trying to tell me what I should and shouldn't believe, all right. So I know what it's like to be brainwashed even in the church. But I also know what it's like to be pulled outside of the church. And I also know what it's like to go out and walk in the streets, in the highways and the byways. And I know what it's like to when God will use anybody. Did y'all see that video that I showed yesterday? God will use anybody. He will use a poor man, a prostitute, a drunk. He will use a thug. He will use anybody because he can dwell inside of those you least expect him to dwell inside of. All right. So sometimes people pay attention to what people do and they don't pay attention to who they are. That's interesting. All right. So legal issues coming up here as well. So something legal coming up is in the energy. Things being carried out in bad faith. This means people's intentions are not good. Okay, people's intentions are not good here. I'm also seeing something coming up about the indigenous. Okay, the indigenous here, and this has to do with how things are affected there, and so health, elderly, finance, celebrity, arts, as well as harassment and bribery. These are the themes that I have here in this energy today. I am picking up on some imitations. That's what I was talking about. Don't they want to be you, boo? They want to be you so bad. They want to be you so bad. But it won't work. It's not going to work because there's only one what? There's only one you, just like there's only one me, friend. They can't be you. Even if they try to knock you off your high horse to get on it, it won't work for them like it worked for you. It's not supposed to, because your seat has your name on it. Have y'all never heard that what God has for you, it is for you? That's the truth. What he has for you, it is for you. Focus on your office, okay? So I'm seeing here, picking up on commanders and orders, because you notice how I keep talking about orders. Okay, so I'm picking up on lieutenants, commanders, orders, vice president. He's going to take prominence in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or 4. It's going to be a lot of talk about him because I'm picking up second in command here. Second in command. So I don't know what he got going on because I don't watch the news like that. But I do see something coming up with that here. So I'm also seeing here citations being sent out as well. Some kind of citation. Here certain individuals receive citation or something along those lines. Okay, produce and fashion is going to be also highlighted. I am seeing a new trend coming up over the next 1 to 3 days. And that's because tomorrow brings in the new, remember? So you'll start seeing some new trends and stuff, new fashions being highlighted in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so, or talk about that. People being framed, blackmailing energy coming in. So basically, it could be like, if you don't do this for me, I'm going to tell the whole world that happened. You know, I'm going to tell the whole world about the dirty nasties that you've done. Okay, that's what energy I'm picking up on. Somebody's trying to blackmail somebody. You know, but, you know, if you're like anything like me and you're being blackmailed, you tell them they're going to need a poison stronger than that. And you go ahead and face the consequences for your past, because your past don't got nothing to do with your future at all. Your past is your past. God knows what you did in your past, but he called you for your future. So regardless of what they try to bring up in your past, know that you're no longer that. He made you a new creature, a new being. So you go forward for your future and you forget about your past. You've left that behind. But they're going to be trying to bring up your dirty nasties, okay? Somebody's going to try to bring up somebody's dirty nasties. We're going to see that in the news over 1 to 3 days. But they're going to need a poison stronger than that, okay? All right. So I'm also seeing some kind of arrival of something. Someone arise. I said arise. I don't feel like that was a mistake. Someone's going to arrive. Okay, arrive here. Something moving towards here. And so this arrival, I feel like this arrival is like an original presence, you know, an original presence here. Nonetheless, I'm picking up gambling and card games as well. Let's see. drinking over the next 1 to 3 days, something about drinks of some sort. Land talks about land and new maps and new charts, that type of thing. I'm seeing coming up, or something, debate about a map or something like that. Tempers flare, rage takes over. Told you about that. Tips, talk about tips and rewards here. Now, this morning, I did see that energy is already started up with the tips. The tip could also be TI, news about TI as well, but it could actually be literal tips, like when you go eat at a restaurant, tips regarding that here. And so grants, I see grants being given here as well. Or wait. I do see give grant, but it could also be talk about, never mind. Let's just say, because I did see reduce earlier. So never mind. Let's just say, let's go speak that positive and say that grants are going to be given. Okay. So aid coming in, somebody being provided assistance, political leaders, deputies coming up as well, assistance. These are all people that's going to be highlighted in the energy. Perverts still. I'm seeing people not being able to control their sexual urges. I say that because I don't want to say less, but they do that and they didn't know that the person that they're trying to be attracted to is not even attracted to them. And that's the interesting thing. So they think that that person's not going to say what that person's going to say, but they're going to say it anyways because they never liked them. Okay. Of course, I'm picking up on LGBTQIA community here. So I'm seeing a lot of obsessions and fetishes. And when I see that, I'm seeing a lot of narcissistic behavior, because the narcissist is really big on rage. Okay. Really big on tempers. Okay. So much so that you would think they were the demon or devil, and they are the demon for sure. Not necessarily the devil. Okay. They are the devil's puppets. Okay. So I'm also picking up on some kind of survey here as well. Okay. Brain and spinal cord. So that's what we'll see in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. I love y'all. Good blood one. Hearts go out. You get a heart. You get a heart. You get a heart. Hearts go out. Hearts go out. Bye.